This video is entitled Fiat Money and Gold versus Silver. What I'm going to do is talk about fiat dollars, not only the American, but all of them. And then I'm going to do some comparing with gold and silver. There will be some US dollar, gold, and silver charts available on the More Info link blog, and they won't be available on this video log. So let's get started. So we're going to start off talking with fiat dollars. Basically what fiat means is currency that isn't backed by anything. I mean, it all used to be, because when you used to have a dollar, you used to say silver certificate. Apparently the theory was you could take that silver dollar and replace it with, I think, an ounce of silver. And even the coins that they had back then, silver. I mean, you can hear the silver sound. Silver used to be in the coin. So when you used to take a silver dime or a silver quarter, you used to have silver in it. So you could always melt it down and get yourself real silver. And that was un-fiat money. But Nixon decided in '71 to go off the gold standard. The rest is history, and it's taken people a long time to wake up. And in fact, most people are still not waking up, because it seems that it's a different world when I talk with like-minded people here on the internet compared to the real world, as we call it, and we talk with everyday people who really have very little to no idea about the dollar. They know the economy is in trouble. They just don't really know too much of the details. And it's not like the mainstream news is really going out of their way to educate us on the situation either. So everything comes down to its practical uses. So this old money, it's got practical uses. I can melt this down and get silver. These are Canadian quarters and Canadian dimes and one American quarter, which means that 80% of this is silver. So it's got a practical use. This here, these are Canadian quarters and Canadian dimes, but they are somewhat newer, meaning they're made out of cheaper metals like copper or whatnot. But they still have some value to it. I mean, more than the paper money does, because paper money is just that, a piece of paper. Digital money, heck, it's just a number on a computer. Now, of course, you could say, well, it's not just that now, because you could take that money and buy things out of it, which is true. But the question is, how long can you do that for? To me, it's just so much like it's a matter of when and not if that the dollar goes through its complete collapse cycle, when the prices seem to go a lot higher, to the point where paper money is just only going to be that of a souvenir. That seems to be almost for sure. And what also is for sure, that it's going to be a revolution to get us there. That's a matter of when and not if, and what's going to happen during it. So let's just use this for example. I mean, everything seems to be priced in dollars, whether it's water, whether it's silver, whether it's anything. I mean, even a roll of tape is priced in dollars. Everything is dollars. So I mean, one wrestler says everybody has a price for the $1 Million Man. That was old wrestling saying, meaning everything has a price. So let's just use an example of the United States versus the rest of the world. Let's assume that the rest of the world decided we will give you every single paper money that we have, every single digital dollar that we have, in all of the currencies, whether it's a US currency, of which over 70% is not owned by the Americans, whether it's the euro, whether it's the yen, Australian, Canadian dollar, the Swiss franc, all of it, and exchange it for all of their water, food, oil, gold, silver, platinum, palladium, and even their seeds, for example. What would the net result be? Well, the net result would be is that the Americans would have a whole load of paper currency, and their computers would be having a lot of numbers of dollars. But the question is, how much does the United States have left before a complete fall? Days, weeks, or months? And months would be a long time. I don't know if they can last a few weeks, because you need water and food to survive. And you don't need money to survive in a non-materialistic world. And the rest of the world, well, they wouldn't be that much better off, but they would be better off. And the reason why is because America doesn't have that much water, food, and all this other assets in comparison to the rest of the world. So that's why I'm saying this issue. It's all about the practical use of the dollar. Another example would be, well, if you have the choice to go to a deserted island and you could have $1 billion given to you in cash when you get there, or you could decide to take $5,000 worth, go on an online Walmart or whatever, buy whatever assets you want and we'll ship them to you there. If you were to be able to buy the $5,000 worth of assets, you could survive for a long time on the deserted island if you made some smart purchases. But those pieces of paper are going to do nothing for you when you are on that deserted island. And that's because of its practical use of the dollar. So a lot of people are saying to be buying gold and silver to move into this dollar collapse and economic crisis. I do agree with this situation, but let's analyze gold versus silver. First thing off, food and water is a higher priority than gold and silver, because the key thing is having those metals to be able to buy other assets in the years 2010, 11, and so on. But let's move on to these metals. So let's start off with, say, let's drop the coin here. Let's start off with gold. Gold coins here. With gold, what is its practical value? Well, it's a metal, first of all, and I'm not too educated on its actual real practical uses. Yes, I know it can make jewelry. Yes, I know a lot of people love it, and yes, I know it's very shiny. But that really doesn't say too much. I mean, many people say, well, gold has been money for thousands of years, and I'm 100% accurate that that statement is true, because it has been. And it was money a long time before the dollar was ever money. But in reality, the Mayan calendar is talking about a change over this 2012 shift. And over the same period of time, gold has been considered money. The energy in the atmosphere has been that of a lower frequency. Nothing stays the same, and when we leave 2012, that energy of a lower frequency is going to be gone. As we move to a higher dimension, it will be that of a higher frequency. Now, I'm not saying that gold's not going to be money post-2012. In fact, I think it definitely will be. But the question is, what is the truth about its actual real practical uses of gold in a non-materialistic world? Because it seems that the shift in consciousness is getting us away from a materialistic world. Now, I don't know what the uses of gold really exactly is, and I'm going to find out, but this is really what 2010 is all about. It's an overload of truth information that's going to be coming towards us when I look at the consciousness of the Mayan calendar. Now, I don't know what the truth is going to be, but when I look at, say, silver, this is bullion silver coin, what's the truth on silver? Well, what seems to be accurate is that it's going to have good uses for stuff like, say, solar panels, and there's so many other industrial uses as it is already. Now, the big thing here is, when we do get out of this economic downturn, out of this economic depression and recession, and have the recovery that is a matter of when and not if, will silver come out on top? And it's only a guess, and a calculated guess, that it will be because of the solar panels, which are going to be needing silver, along with its other industrial uses that it already has. Now, there's a lot of rumor and speculation and research information that there's a very low supply of silver, and in the whole supply versus demand curve, when supply is low and demand is high, the value for it is extremely high, which is why I think owning silver for the economic recovery is a very good idea. Now, the economic recovery is not when these mainstream people say it's coming. In fact, I don't see how recovery can happen before the year 2012 when I look at the consciousness of the Mayan calendar. Maybe it could happen in 2013, but I'm really looking towards 15 or 16 when the economic recovery is scheduled to happen. And by this time, we should know the truth of gold and the truth of silver. And maybe gold has this use of some new discovery that comes that's going to be so magnificent, and its value is going to just skyrocket really high. I don't know. I mean, that's what this whole time is all about, is finding out the truth as we move into this higher vibration. And if we're leaving a materialistic society, the materialistic aspects of gold has a very good chance of diminishing. And I came on here saying gold is going to be $5,000 an ounce. Now, what I've said in previous videos, but I haven't said in that video, is whatever goes up must go down. And when I say 5,000 an ounce, I'm saying it because of the weakness of the US dollar, but also to the point that many people are understanding that gold has got value. So there's enough consciousness that is feeling that it's got to be going up. But will it go down lower? Would we have like a NASDAQ type of fall like we did in 2000? I'd have to say that it's possible and that there's a high likelihood of that being the case. And if that's the case, you'd want to take a look at what a gold to silver ratio is really towards going to be showing us for the two metals as we move forward with this whole shift in consciousness. So that will be this video. I hope you have found it informative. If you have any questions, please leave me a message and I will try to be able to answer it. Thank you for your ratings and your subscriptions, your comments. I really do appreciate them, and have yourself a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.